To be human is to be an artist. Hello, my name is Cole, and if you're new here, I do philosophy style videos, and today we're going to be talking about what it means to be an artist and why I believe all humans are inherently artistic. Not just painters, not just musicians, but everybody. Um, so yeah, let's get right in. I think before we can really talk about artistry and what it means in human nature to be an artist, we first have to talk we first have to define art, right? What is art? What is artistry, right? And I looked up a bunch of different definitions, and the definition or the thing that I found that was consistent across all definitions of art or artistry is creating something unique. This idea of creation. To create something not just unique, but something that also has value, some sort of emotional value to it, something that makes you feel a certain way, right? And whenever you look at art from a lens of creation rather than just a lens of paintings or music, art as a concept opens up a lot more, right? Like, think about architects constructing buildings. Buildings, designing a building is absolutely a form of art. Or how about in parks, the benches, the chairs, the street lights, or really any furniture for that matter. Your coffee table, your recliner, your lamp. Maybe that's their functional art, right? But whenever you look at art from the lens of creation, it really gets opened up a lot more. And I think that's what inherently art is. It is creating something unique, something that invokes some sort of emotion in those who peer upon it, and something that has value, something that means something. So, using that definition of art, why do I think that all humans are artists? Well, think of it like this: all humans create. And I'm not saying this as in a sense of whatever job you may do, you create something, or, um, you know, whenever you go and make your turkey and ham sandwich for lunch, you're creating the sandwich, like, I mean, yeah, sure, you could say that, but I mean it on a deeper emotional level, right? Whenever you interact with other people, whenever you whenever you go and talk with somebody and interact with them, you have the conscious decision, whether if you realize it or not, to invoke some sort of emotion in that person you're talking to. Whenever you have the choice of being kind, being angry, being dejected or aloof, right? And it's whether you realize it or not, the way you approach others and approach your life, you change and you interact and you affect all that's around you. So, whenever I walk into a Starbucks and I see somebody else walking a little bit further behind me, I have the choice to open the door for that person. Maybe I can stand, not only open the door for them, but wait for them to walk in before me. Um, and by doing that, I can paint a smile on that person's face, paint an emotion onto their minds that kind gesture might stick with them, right? Or not only could I close the door, but I could actually slam the door on them and anger them, make them feel strong emotional distress towards me, and leave them with a lingering upset feeling that might stay with them for the rest of their day. Humans are canvases, and we have the conscious choice as we walk through life to paint those around us the way we would like to see them. This idea of to treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Well, I think it's, it's a very nice thing to teach young children. It's so much deeper than just kindness because it's anger, it's sadness, it's disdain, it's hate, it's all emotions. And we have the choice every single day to paint those emotions on others. And by doing that, you are creating. I am creating emotion in others. I'm creating situations. The thing is all humans are completely and entirely unique. No one person is going to be the same as another. And no one person experiences emotions the same as another. So whenever you go to create an emotion of happiness or sadness or anger in somebody else, you are being an artist. That in itself is artistry. But then I kind of want to go even deeper on this, on an even more conceptual level of emotions themselves. Because not only are all humans unique, not just their physical makeup, but also in the way we experience emotions. And part of that is because all emotions are also unique. The way I like to think about this is whenever I say the word love, I promise you what you think of is different than most other people. That love can be a burning, limerent desire that just stays with you and follows you constantly. It could be a chasing, a seeking, a yearning desire. It could be a calm, burning candle that's held up through loyalty and time. Or it could be a raging inferno for a passion you care deeply about. Love can also be a flame that putters out and is something that you don't appreciate because of the feelings you have around it. Maybe your love has been taken advantage of, right? Love has so many different unique meanings. And yet it's interesting because whenever I say the singular four-letter word love, it encapsulates hundreds of different of emotions. So many different emotions come from this one singular word. And all this wide array of emotions are all experienced differently and uniquely on an individual level. Same with hate, same with sadness. They're all entirely unique. And to think about that again, that not just all human life is unique, but the way we walk through life and experience life and feel life on a emotional level is all entirely unique. And then to go back to think of our definition of art, to create something unique, to create something meaningful, something that has value, something that evokes an emotion in others. I mean, I don't know how you can't see that and think that isn't art. Human life is art. And it's even more than just humans, it's life itself, right? Like obviously we, can see these beautiful picturesque scenes of, you know, the the Alps and the beach and the trees of the forest and be like, wow, what beauty, what awe. And yes, these scenes are beautiful and pretty, but that emotion it makes you feel, the fact that the place that you are seeing that's making you feel that emotion is unique to anywhere else in the world is art. And the way you feel the landscape around you is art. Finally, I kind of want to just encourage looking at life through this lens of beauty, right? Whenever life has this hidden meaning of beauty, of uniqueness and specialness to it, right? It makes you treasure and cherish even the most mundane moments so much more dearly. It adds value to parts of your life that probably didn't have a lot of value. I mean, you could even think of the boring office 9 to 5 as having just a little bit more value, because even the bleakness of the room you're in, the, muteness of your cubicle, that in itself is an emotion that you are feeling and that is being imprinted upon yourself. And it's being imprinted a little differently upon everyone else. And you have the choice with each coworker you interact with to change that emotional ecosystem just a little bit more uniquely. I finally want to leave you with some quotes. The sculptor shapes marble just as the human shapes life. And I think this is very representative of this conversation we're having, that we typically just think of artists as somebody who can paint a great painting, as somebody who can play a beautiful piece of music. And makes sense, right? Very emotional, very unique, very impressive, talented, skillful, right? But whenever we think on a more individualistic level, not on this grandeur of talents and of skill, but on this, I'm going to bake cookies for my girlfriend just so I can see the smile dance across her face. Or I'm going to give my brother a hug because I feel like he hasn't been hugged in a while. And maybe he won't show it, but the way that makes him feel on the inside is meaningful. And those emotions that we feel interacting from others is born from the exact same place. The greatest traditional artists of history got the inspiration for this artwork through emotion. The greatest piano pieces are coming from a place of deep meaning and emotion, of love that they felt, of hate and anger they felt, of longing that they felt. And they used their music and their paintings as a medium of conveying the emotions they felt. And so speech and interactions with others is no different. It's just a different medium of art. Art is not defined by the paint on the canvas. Art is the act of bringing something meaningful into existence. With this quote, it's this idea of creation, that whenever we strip down the pure definition of art and artistry, across from the hundreds of different definitions you can find, the hundreds of different interpretations, what remains consistent is creation, of adding value to existence, to bring something unique to the world. And that is something human. Finally, I'd like to leave you with this. When we hear the word artist, we usually picture someone standing before a blank canvas. But every morning, each of us wakes up before a blank day. We decide what kind of person to be, what words to speak, what relationships to strengthen, and what problems to solve. What legacy to leave behind. Maybe the canvas was never the point. Maybe the point was always the act of creation. And if creating meaning, beauty, connection, and possibility is what art truly is, then perhaps to be human is to be an artist. Thank you very much. My name is Cole. If you enjoyed this, I do philosophy style videos pretty regularly. And please subscribe. Please leave a comment if there is any topic you would like to see me cover. I'm a very open book and I'm willing to cover almost any topic within reason. And so let me know. I want to grow our community. I want to grow this into a place where we can all talk, feel seen, and get to understand not just ourselves, but the world around us a little bit better. So, thank you. Hope y'all enjoyed.